Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy MMA Propaholic, and I'm back with another breakdown for UFC Vegas 65. I'm going to be breaking down Miles Johns versus Vince Morales, as Morales has a 4-inch reach advantage, and both fighters fight out of the orthodox stance. Morales has 3 more professional fights than Johns, and he has 2 more fights than Johns in the UFC. My bad, guys. Excuse me. Morales has a 73% finish rate, as Johns has a 50% finish rate. And Johns has been finished by sub once, and he's been finished by knockout once. And yeah, guys, this fight is I really you know how to beat Vince Morales, guys. It's just throwing leg kicks. Vince Morales, when I watched the tape on him, he really wasn't never pressuring his opponents, and I felt like if he pressured his opponents more, he would make his game way better. Like, he doesn't put any pressure. Like, all he does is sit on the back foot and he expects the fighters to pressure him. But the judges lately have been really all over damage and pressure over just counter striking and trying to land shots. But yeah, I know the judges like a lot of pressure recently, but even when I watch Vince Morales' wins, Ali Manzuhabi, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. That guy is one of the more lower volume fighters in that weight class, in the 135 weight class, as he beat Ricky Tercios in his last fight. That was when Tercios went 25 of 212 on his strikes. He has faced a way better competition than Miles Johns. He lost to real estate agent Benito Lopez, which honestly, I went back and watched that fight. I thought Morales won. Morales was actually pressuring his opponent, and he was really getting the boxing going. But what did Benito do? I mean, the damage on Morales' leg it was just clear, and I'm pretty sure the judges gave it for that damage on that leg. Vince Morales didn't really land any power shots with his combinations. The Chris Gutierrez fight was extremely hard to watch. Holy shit. Vince Morales got beat to death on his lead leg. Gutierrez exposed him on that fight, really how to beat him, but I think he's the best. I think Gutierrez is one of the most craftiest 135ers with throwing leg kicks in the division, honestly. So I kind of give Morales a pass for that fight, just because of how Chris Gutierrez has looked recently. Because I think Gutierrez might find the top 15 ranking. Morales against Draco Rodriguez, I didn't he did no damage, but it was 1-1. Rodriguez was doing nothing. But what was crazy to me is that Vince Morales actually went to the wrestling in this fight, as overall in Morales' career, you could tell a man can get taken down easily, but he always gets back up, guys. He's only been controlled on the ground 6% on 16 takedowns. That's a 43% takedown defense, but he gets right back up, guys. It's crazy because Morales is a BJJ black belt, which I was kind of shocked to hear that in the film. Miles Johns is going to push the wrestling in this fight, but I just think he is. I mean, if the way Miles Johns wins this fight is if he stands at range, he jabs him up, and he just attacks the lead leg. If you stop Morales early in the first round with leg kicks, you're going to beat him. It's pretty easy to beat Morales. With a guy that has a 43% takedown defense and he just gets beat up on his front leg and he's a boxer, I mean, the path is right in front of you, but Morales isn't really getting controlled on the ground, and Miles Johns only has 8% control time off of 4 of 14 takedowns. He's not a control guy himself. And even in his regional scenes, he was never a control guy. He would just get explosive takedowns and he would use a lot of energy. And the cardio was a problem for Johns earlier in his career. When it kind of led up to the UFC, it was a great fight. He used his wrestling against Richie Santiago in the Contender Series, kind of just controlled him against the cage. when what really stuck out to me was that Mario Batista fight. Like, I know Batista's like a force to be reckoned with in this division, but like the way he just dealt with pressure in that fight, I mean, it was a close fight. Like the first round was extremely close, but like you could just tell, like when you pressure Miles Johns, he's kind of like uncomfortable, like because he's used to doing most of the pressuring, and like he got knocked out with a flying knee to ground and pound in that fight. But I mean, Johns kind of looked really hesitant, and he looked really scared in that fight to me. Like he was just mad. He was extremely hesitant. He didn't want to throw anything, and Batista just caught him. Um, like Kevin Natavidad, I don't really think this is a good win in my mind. Like Natavidad couldn't land a strike, but what we see, what's different between Natavidad and Morales is their striking and the accuracy. Like I know Vince Morales has a 39% accuracy, but it's better than having a 23% accuracy than Natavidad. Vince Morales throws 11 significant strikes per minute, and Miles Johns actually has a 70% striking defense, which is great. But like, I look at that striking defense, and like, I go back to the Anderson Dos Santos guys, that fight, guys, because like, you look at that fight and you watch the first minute. Dos Santos was limited for 14 minutes of that fight because Miles Johns hit a nerve in his leg. Like the odds of you hitting a nerve in a calf is extremely. I think it's extremely rare because I really have never seen it happen in the UFC. But like, Dos Santos was limited, and Natavidad isn't an accurate striker, and he's not. I don't think he's UFC level. Like, I don't think he's close to like Vince Morales. As Vince Morales has 8 fights in the UFC, fighting guys like Yadon Song. Like he's fighting competition, and he's fighting guys that pressure. Like the times that Miles Johns has seen pressure, he got John Casadena fight, guys. Like this is a perfect example. He got worn down. He got dragged to the limit. Casadena was just pouring on the pressure. Like, and what really stuck out to me in that fight, guys, is Miles Johns is not good at throwing calf kicks when he's close at range. He really tends to struggle when he's not at range and when he's being pressured. Like the path to victory for Vince Morales here is you got to stuff the takedowns and you need to pressure. Like I see Miles Johns' money line getting smashed at this moment, and I see it getting smashed just because don't get me wrong, guys. Miles Johns has tons of power in his hands. I mean, he knocked the hell out of Natavidad. He put Dos Santos on his ass, but like Dos Santos was completely limited. Like he didn't have a front lead leg. He could barely like stand. He could barely stand in that fight. Like to me, there's path to victory for both guys in this fight, but like I think the better path to victory is for Morales. Like, dude, you gotta pressure the hell out of this guy. Like, if you don't pressure him and you let Miles Johns get like the first 3 or 4 leg kicks, it's gonna make Morales very hesitant. And I think a great way to Morales has never been finished either, guys, and I don't even think Morales has ever been knocked down. Like, I think the best way to play this fight, and if Vince Morales is like plus 160 or gets like plus 165, I'm probably gonna end up throwing half a unit and tracking him. But I think like if this fight is on the feet, which every fight starts on the feet. If this fight is on the feet for like the first 3 minutes of the first round, and you guys are seeing that like Miles Johns isn't landing any calf kicks, and let's say like Vince Morales comes back and he actually learned how to check a leg kick, it's gonna be hard for Johns because his plan is to kick the leg and to land an overshot. Like Vince Morales is hittable, guys, with a 52% striking defense. Actually, I'm mistaken, guys. Vince Morales did get knocked down. Let me see who he got knocked down by. My bad, guys. He got knocked down twice. Yeah, he got knocked down twice in one fight. Shit. Who was that against again? Oh, yeah, Chris Gutierrez off the leg kick. So, like, I didn't really count. I mean, I count it as a knockdown, obviously, but, like, Miles Johns isn't going to knock you down with leg kicks unless he hits a nerve again, God forbid, like he did with Anderson Dos Santos. I really think, like, I don't hate the Miles Johns knockout prop. Like, I feel like if you're to play Miles Johns, you play him by knockout. I think that's his path to victory. Like, I know lots of people are like, Miles Johns is going to wrestle him to a decision. Um, yeah, he might, but how can you rely on his cardio if he just sticks to that game in the first 2 rounds? Because that's what he's going to do. And like, if this fight hits the 3rd round, guys, uh, Vince Morales is live in the 3rd round, and what I'm getting back to saying is, if this fight's on the feet for 3 minutes, and Miles Johns is having a hard time pressuring, and he's having a hard time landing the calf kicks, guys, I think we live Vince Morales. Because if he contradicts how the fight goes in the 1st round, and he takes round 1, I'm live betting him. And nothing's going to stop me. If he's minus 145, he's minus 150. I will proceed to live bet him. Because that's not Johns don't like that fight style, guys. He hates that fight style, and he gets worn down. And like, Vince Morales and his durability could really put an effect on Miles Johns late. So I don't hate Vince Morales. I know Lou's gonna love this. Lou, bet you if you're watching this, man, round 3, it pays more, man. I'm on it. Vince Morales round 3, man. I'm all over it. I'm most likely gonna be tracking it. And if his money line hits anywhere plus 160, plus 165, I'm jumping on it because holy shit, you're gonna land minus 200 on Miles Johns and he's coming off a short notice. Like, I think that's just sketch, especially like with the 2 fight styles here. Like, I really think Morales has a path to victory, and I think his path of victory is more like on the tape perspective than it is on the stat perspective. But like, Johns does hit like a truck, which will scare me. And I could see this fight ending inside the distance, which I've been thinking about to play, but like, fight to end by KO isn't a bet that I hate too. I'm waiting for FanDuel. If like we get plus 250, I'll most likely jump in on that and have Vince Morales round 3. But I'm picking Vince Morales to win this fight. And I'm picking him to win by round 3 knockout. I think he's gonna wear this guy down. I really do. I think the pressure is just gonna the pressure, because what I've seen Miles Johns dealing with pressure. It's hard for him to deal with pressure, and like, to me, I see him get tired in 3rd round. Like, even in the Natividad fight, he slowed down until he put everything he had in that uppercut. Because Natividad was running away and he just wasn't aware. If you're not aware in an octagon every second, good luck, because you're going to be waking up on the ground and it's not going to be fun. But that's it for me on this breakdown, guys. So my pick, once again, is Vince Morales money line. I love fight to end by KO if it's over plus 225. I saw DraftKings was like hovering a plus 210. I want that plus 250. I think that plus 250 is a sexy number on this spot because the fight doesn't go as plus 100. I don't really see anybody getting a submission here unless Vince Morales pulls one out of his ass or he gives up his back and Johns just gets a rear naked choke. But I don't really think it's likely because Johns doesn't have a lot of rear naked chokes. And he hasn't really shown me he is that capable of grabbing the back because I've seen his opponents get back up, giving him his back. So yeah, like fight to end by KO, I think is a good bet. And Vince Morales round 3, guys. I think it's the most live round 3 prop on the card this week. That's it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdowns. Leave a comment, leave a like. Make sure you guys follow me at MMA Propaholic. Oh, my bad, guys. Oh my god, I can't even speak. Follow me on Twitter at MMA_Propaholic, and hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to be coming out with 2 or 3 more videos, so stay tuned, and peace out, guys.